What's happening, XRP traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Saturday, March 26th. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing Ripple and XRP. And a common question that I've been getting a lot lately is, if Ripple is so great and if XRP is so great, why is Wall Street turning a blind eye to Ripple and XRP? How come we're never seeing them talk about it? A lot of the times they were referring to it as Ripple USD on CNBC, and they've since changed their tune. Since the SEC lawsuit, we now see XRP USD as the trading pair. So I'm going to get into this topic and more, going to do some technical analysis. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel, tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. Jumping right into it, I shared an idea on TradingView and getting quite a bit of traction so far, and I'll do some technical analysis. But we're looking at a potential weekly inverse head and shoulders, just real quick here with a target of about 150. But I want to go through and just give my thought process on what's really going on behind the scenes and why the Wall Street talking heads are really turning a blind eye. And I think this has to do with what they've done previously with Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you remember, all of the big banks were saying it was a terrible investment, and they were even firing some of their employees if they traded it. JP Morgan being one of them. So I'll read this real quickly here. So Kevin O'Leary made his fortunes off of software. He also states all the time that money is in the software, i.e. Google, Apple, Microsoft, etc. The biggest thing this reminds me of is Ripple. They are utilizing the digital asset XRP, oil to Exxon, and they are building software products around XRP to facilitate cross-border payments that settle instantly and remove the trust component to transacting with other countries or banks. They also eliminate the need for pre-funded accounts. XRP is separate from Ripple, and even if Ripple were to close their doors, XRP would continue to trade in the free and open markets. With that said, why are Wall Street talking heads completely turning a blind eye to XRP? Why is the SEC bringing a lawsuit against Ripple, claiming that Ripple sold XRP as an unregistered security to fund their operations? First of all, they did not sell XRP on secondary markets. They only sold to market makers, i.e. accredited investors, and they also did not promise any returns. On top of that, you can buy Ripple private equity, private company shares with the digital asset XRP on the platform linked to. How can I buy a security with another security? That makes zero sense. So the question remains, why is all this happening? It's because the powers that be and the market makers are talking their books, right? They're talking their books, which is not illegal. The same thing they did with Bitcoin and the same thing they did with Ethereum and other cryptos. In the early days, it has been proven that JP Morgan was an early investor in Ethereum. So technically, isn't Ethereum a true banker's coin? Let me know in the comments below what you think of that statement. Also, a ton of other companies, banks, and countries are starting to hold Bitcoin. Does that make Bitcoin a banker's coin? Let's look at what Goldman Sachs said about crypto in the past. And if I just bring up this website, most cryptocurrencies will crash and go to zero, Goldman Sachs says, and that was back in February 7th of 2018. And like I said, JP Morgan was even going to fire employees if they even talked to any of their clients about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general. Okay, so now let's fast forward to today and look at Goldman Sachs' website, the second biggest financial institution in the world. Okay, just after what they said not too long ago. Now, right on their main page, we have insights of digitization, from cryptocurrencies, from metaverse. Explore the mega trends that are reshaping economies. So, changing your tune much? Just a little bit. Okay, now let's fast forward to Ripple's website with the XRP section. XRP, the best digital asset for global payments. And Digital Asset Investor actually pointed this out originally, and shout out to him for finding this, but just look at the similarities between the two. So watch what they do, not what they say, folks. If you were listening to these Wall Street crooks back in 2018 and earlier, you would be one bitter bear. Use logical thinking and do your own research. I would encourage you not to listen to me. Go and do your own research. Don't just listen to what trolls and people are saying online either, because there's usually a narrative and a hidden agenda. JP Morgan was also buying the most Bitcoin back in 2018, even when they were telling their employees that they would be fired and saying that it was all going to go to zero. And they were buying the most of it, and somehow this is not illegal. Ripple's an American-born company with headquarters in San Francisco, Silicon Valley. Swift is being disrupted, and Ripple will replace it. The U.S. is behind this digital asset race, and Ripple is years ahead of their competition. I think the reason why this whole SEC lawsuit came to be was to slow Ripple down and XRP down, because Ethereum hasn't even issued a fully functional project yet, right? Joe Lubin even said that Ethereum in its current form is basically a prototype, a demo, a toy, and it was never meant to be a long-term solution. So if they're coming out with, staking, it's not even a fully functional blockchain. So like I said, I think the lawsuit was brought against Ripple, to give XRP the first legal clarity of any digital asset, but also to slow it down so that Bitcoin and Ethereum could get caught up, right? We know JP Morgan was an early investor in Ethereum, so why would they want XRP and Ripple to thrive in advance of them, right? So how does the US plan to get back into the #1 spot? With Ripple and XRP, of course. The one true layer 1 blockchain that just works. It's cheap, it's efficient, it's green, uses less energy than most of our major credit card companies like MasterCard and Visa. It's cheap, it's scalable. Also the world's first decentralized exchange. XRP is not just the world bridge currency. Just Google that, put into Google world bridge currency and see what comes up. That is just one use case. XRP will be used to issue any asset on the XRP ledger, including stablecoins. We will also see DeFi, decentralized finance, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and we'll also see the use case of store of value. XRP is deflationary in nature. For every XRP account, the reserve right now is 10 XRP. So that means that each account is created, 10 XRP is held in that account forever until the network decides to lower the reserve. So that is deflationary in nature. There'll never be any more created. There's 100 billion total supply, and I think about 47 billion in circulation. Ripple does have some in escrow, but it's not proof of stake, so they have no control over, central authority over the network because it's not proof of stake. It doesn't matter how many coins you own or how much XRP you own. It's irrelevant, right? They use validator nodes, and Ripple controls less than 4% of the validator nodes. MIT also runs a validator node. The SEC runs a validator node. Microsoft, there's tons of companies and different agencies that are running these XRP validator nodes, and it just goes to show you how decentralized it is. They don't need Ripple's approval to do that. They could just go and do that. XRP is basically in the top 5 and currently under a lawsuit with the SEC, Security and Exchange Commission. What other cryptos do you know of that could prove that resiliency in face of adversity? The plan all along was to act like XRP was nothing and ignore the person behind the curtain. Now they bring a lawsuit against Ripple to give XRP legal clarity, the first of any crypto in the US, and give the green light for banks to start using it, flipping the switch. So right now they're using the private ledger function, but once we flip the switch, so to speak, then we'll flip over to ODL, and that's going to be using secondary markets. I know what I own. Do you? And we could also see that weekly inverse head and shoulders, like I said before, with a target of about 152. Going to jump into the rounded bottom here as well. So from the low here in March 2020 at 11 cents, actually it looks like on this chart it was 12 cents, but you can see here we're really holding that level. And if we even just adjust this a slight bit, oops, that is the Elliott wave count. So if we just adjust that a slight bit, not sure what happened there, but I thought I had that perfectly rounded there. So you can see here, we've been holding this rounded bottom and we're starting to go parabolic. And if we just zoom in, you can see here that we've been holding it perfectly on these last few weekly candles. So what I think could happen, we're also in this bit of a pennant here. If we break this pennant bullish and maintain that rounded bottom, that's going to be extremely bullish in my opinion. And like I said, that weekly inverse head and shoulders, and if we actually take the measured move here from this pennant, that brings us up to right around that 150 area as well. So I could very much see a move up to $1.50 at some point here between now and mid-April. And taking a look at the weekly time frame, we are extremely bullish right now on the weekly time frame. Look at the stochastic and the MACD starting to blast off here into space, and we have the low, high, higher low. If we break the high here at 92 cents on XRP, that's going to confirm a weekly uptrend. So going to be watching key resistance there at 92 cents. And taking a look at the weekly moving averages, we also have the 50 weekly moving average there at 94 cents. So again, 92 is going to be key, but we need to get over that 94 area. After that, we're looking at $1 psychological. And one thing I wanted to mention as well is the 50-day is starting to curl. So we're already seeing a bullish cross of the 50 and the 100, but we could see a golden cross here in the next week to a couple weeks where we see the 50-day moving average cross through that 200-day moving average, also known as a golden cross. And that would likely mean that we could see a lot more upside. Look what happened the last time we had a golden cross down here in August of 2020. We went from a price of about 28 to 29, around 29 cents, all the way up to about $1.96. That just goes to show you the power of these indicators. And it's not a guarantee, it's just the most likely scenario. And I really do think that we're going to see an explosive move on XRP, likely going to target that 150 area. But one thing I want to show here as well, we could be seeing a Elliott wave count play out here. And if we take the Fibonacci extension levels from the all-time high to the all-time low, if we just do what Bitcoin has already done, Ether has already done it as well. If we just bring up the Ethereum chart, you can see here we've already basically hit the 3.618 Fibonacci extension level. Bitcoin has already done it as well. So if we flip back over here to XRP, what would be the 3.618 level on XRP? That's sitting at $11.41. So if XRP just does what Bitcoin and Ethereum have already done over the last year in this bull cycle, we could expect to move up from anywhere from $10 to $15 on XRP. Let me know if you agree with me. One thing I'm watching as well is a bit of a descending triangle here. But again, we're holding that rounded bottom. But if we do see a breakout of this descending triangle and we continue to bounce around here in this pattern and we lose that rounded bottom, then that could bring us a targeted move all the way back down to 17 cents support, which was the low after the SEC lawsuit was brought against Ripple. And if you look at what Ripple has been doing lately, they've had a lot of positive news, but it hasn't really been affecting the XRP price. But the SEC says that Ripple basically controls the price, right? They actually controlled the price more than Ripple did when they brought the lawsuit against them, right? They caused over billions and billions of dollars worth of losses that a lot of people ended up selling. Again, it's not really the SEC's fault that they sold, but you can't really blame them for wanting to sell and getting a little bit of fear in the market, right? So just watching this Fibonacci and rounded bottom so far, it is holding. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think we could see a run up to $1.50 at some point in mid-April. We could see a settlement at some point. Let's just take a look here where we could potentially expect it. We could see a settlement at some point in May, which would also line up with this rounded bottom, and we could see that target, like I said, up to that 3.618, which Bitcoin and Ethereum have already done. Going to end it there though. Thanks so much for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me, disagree with me. Always love hearing from you and encourage thoughtful discourse. Going to end it there. If you could smash the like and subscribe to the channel on your way out, I would appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video.